bring up my friend and Master Corporal Jody Mitic.
I'll tell you a quick story because Jim was foolish enough to give me the microphone. So January 11th, 2007, about 0400 local time in Afghanistan, and I was leading my sniper team because I'm a sniper team leader at the time, and we're on 4 a.m. so we're wearing night vision. I got my point man. My boss decided to tag along, so he's the second in line, and then I got my sniper, the junior guy, because when you're in charge, you don't get to carry the cool-looking gun. You got to carry the radio, which is an extra 40 pounds. And then there's me. And we go out on patrol from one of the strong points. And just like we've done it 100 times, and you know what? We were really good at our jobs. And we caught a lot of bad guys. We found a lot of booby traps. But some booby traps are found because someone detonates them. So we were moving through an area. And when you're last in line, the last thing you think is going to happen is you're going to be the one stepping on something. And what happened was we went through a doorway, and when I went through, I stepped on what's called an anti-personnel mine. It's about the size of a hockey puck. It's meant to maim, not kill, because when you maim someone, it slows down the whole advance, right? Whereas killing someone, you can just carry on, you know, in the cruel math of the battlefield. So when I stepped on it, the device took my right leg. The left leg was very severely damaged by the secondary device, which was a mortar bomb underneath it. And on the scene, the fellas thought that my left leg would be saved. What ended up happening is the doctor, once I got back to the Roll 3 hospital, ended up having to amputate my legs. So both legs below the knee have been amputated. And being in the military since I was 17, right, and at that age, you're never going to get hurt. And then you get closer, and then I turned 30. Actually, I turned 30 like a week before this happened, so that was a rough time. Turned 30, and then, you know, find a bomb, jeez. But, you know, by the time I got home and things started to sort out in my mind, right, because I put a lot of friends into these ambulances as well, and I put a few in the bags, and we sent them home, and we know the families are taken care of, and we assume everything else is handled, right? Just like a conveyor belt. But once you're in it, you realize that we haven't been to war in 50 years. So there's a lot of things that kind of get put to the wayside. And what happened was the military, unfortunately, kind of thought there'd be two things. You'd be wounded and you'd go right back to duty, you know, like a light scratch or a cool scar across the forehead you could show off to chicks at the bar. Or you'd be dead, and they'd go through the funeral and things like that. So when you have someone who needs intensive rehabilitation and stuff like that, that's where the plan kind of was being made up as they went along. And, you know, to this day, so it's been 3.5 years, and I still don't have a home that's completely barrier-free for me to get around in, because I'm talking to you standing up right now, but first thing in the morning and last thing at night, what I like to do is use my wheelchair, brush my teeth, get off the legs, you know, rest the joints and stuff like that. And I still haven't got that yet. And one of the reasons is because the military, first of all, they're letting us stay in uniform. So I'm thankful to the military for that. And because of that, now they got to figure out what are they going to pay for, what's fair. I have a family with a child, so they're going to renovate my home. And then we have guys that are single privates that have a condo, maybe, or they have an apartment. So the military is trying to find this middle ground. Alana was 7 months pregnant when we started the process to get her home done. 6 months pregnant when we started the process to get her home done. Our daughter Ayla will be 2 in September, and she still doesn't have her own room because we're in a rented home waiting for this house that Jim's seen to be renovated. So we still have this list of, it's about $65,000, $70,000 difference. You start to panic when you think of that. You went over, you got hurt, you think everything's handled, and then it's not, and then so what do? And then one day I got a call from these guys, from Renos For Heroes. And this is, at first it was an idea. What do you think? I'm like, yeah, I think it's a great idea. You know, Alana and I talked, hey, do we want to do this? Because believe it or not, it's difficult to accept help. Charity, right? You know, me, I'm a professional soldier. Did I ever think I'd need charity in my life? Absolutely not. And it's a hard thing to do, but we welcome it now with open arms, because without this type of initiative, which we need in Canada, where would we be, right? She's a sergeant, I'm a master corporal, combined income is still less than $100,000 a year. So we couldn't afford to do this. And we're just thankful that you guys decided to pick up that ball, right? The ball was bouncing and it was getting closer, right? When the ball's losing the bounce. And then somebody ran in and they started dribbling with it. I'm going to rewind a little bit. One of the good things that you think about after you've realized your whole life has changed is what's good. Well, Alana was one of the medics that saved my life that night. Thank you. And believe me, I'm thankful for that every day. We're here, we're raising money for Renos For Heroes. You're going to help Alana and I and Ayla get her own room and her own home. On behalf of every soldier out there, I want to thank you guys for your support. I hope to see you all again next year, and if you can't make it, send a check. We accept checks. And I hope Renos For Heroes, I hope there's no need for it soon. One day, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to happen, but I thank you, Jim, for starting this for us.